The Checkpoints is presented by pharmaceutical company GM Pharma.
Paolo, hi. Thank you for the interview. It's a pleasure to talk to you once again here in Tbilisi. That's very important. The last time we talked was roughly 10 months ago in July of 2023. Back then, when I said in my introduction that Tether's market cap, USDT's market cap was at 83 billion roughly. Today is at 110 billion roughly. That's more or less 22% gain within 10-month period. What do you attribute that growth to mainly?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me again. It's always a pleasure. Yes, we had an amazing growth in the last 10 months. $110 billion is an important threshold for us. The reason of this growth is due to the fact that unfortunately the world is not going into a nicer direction. We are seeing the instability from the geopolitical side. We are seeing more uncertainty in the world today. The sad reality is that many countries are subject to really fast devaluation of their national currencies. Let's think about the Argentina or Turkey, Lebanon. This is a common story across tens, if not more than 100 countries. The common denominator of in these countries is that communities living there are either unbanked, so they don't have a fair access to a bank account, just because they are too poor of being of interest of banks, or simply they are afraid that their national currency will devalue too quickly. The Argentine peso lost 98% of its value against the US dollar in 5 years, and the Turkish lira around 80% of its value against the US dollar in 5 years. So all these local communities are honestly sick and tired of being struggling. Imagine a person working in Argentina from January to December. They work really hard, and at the end of the year they are poorer compared to the beginning of the year, just because everything you import from the outside in the country is paid in dollars. And so people are just looking for alternatives, and they found USDT as the best alternative. For them is the digital dollar. Is a dollar that they can hold on their smartphone. They can spend it. If you go in Argentina, in Tbilisi as well, but in Argentina, every corner, every shop accepts USDT. And unfortunately, I don't see this pattern stopping. We are always hearing, even there is an official statement research from the Brazilian Central Bank and Minister of Economy, saying that in Brazil, more than 85% of all digital asset and digital transactions are made today in USDT. So it's definitely a story of success for Tether, but at the same time, our success in a way means that the world needs to change, needs to find its stability back, because that's a sense that is the requirement for everyone to live a nice life, to feel safe, is to have trust in their own government and in their own currency.
One of the things that should be noted about Tether is that within the crypto industry, it is one of the most transparent companies, and Tether publishes its quarterly and annual reports that are audited by the BDO, one of the top audit firms in the world. Paolo, let me ask you about the financial results for first quarter of 2024. What profit did Tether generate?
2024, the first quarter was an incredible quarter for us. The company made $4.5 billion in profit. Considering that it's a company that has slightly less than 100 employees, it's been named by, I didn't check honestly, but it's been named probably the company with the highest profit per person in the world ever. Of course, I'm proud of that. I believe that our team is incredible. We made the unthinkable possible. We started in 2014 with a simple idea that was putting, the dollar, that most used currency in the world, on top of the best fintech technology that we had available, that was the blockchain. And 10 years after, Tether is actually changing the world. It is being used by 300-400 million people around the world. It's considered lifeline for all the unbanked and the emerging markets. And how we made money is very simple. In the last year, something changed. As I said, a lot of national currencies had a huge inflation, and what happened is that even the US, that is considered probably the most stable country in the world, started to raise the interests on their debt. And Tether today holds around $100 billion of US debt in US Treasury bills. And in really short term, so it's extremely secure, we hold 3 months T-bills. And only that, without considering the other investments and the other activities that we're making, is yielding around $6 billion per year, only that. And so this quarter was incredible because these returns, these earnings, allow us to keep reinvesting in companies that are part of our philosophy and vision. So we didn't distribute much to the shareholders, actually. Actually, the vast majority of these profits are going to be used to carry forward our philosophy of disintermediation, decentralization, and improving people's lives from the financial sector to the communication, telecommunication, and data ownership sector. So we believe that countries like Georgia should be empowered with their own communication tools to keep control over their own citizens' data. And even further, we are investing in biotech, because also we believe that a company like us, that honestly has been lucky. We did really good things ourselves. I think that we had a great idea, but I cannot still believe the success we had. And since we had this success, we have to give back. And especially when it comes to medical research and biotech, it's really important that we invest a good part of these profits to help people that are less fortunate. So this is in a nutshell our current strategy, and you can see it on our website, tether.io.
You've mentioned investments, and one of the, well, actually already a couple of investments you made in Georgia as well. One we discussed last time, roughly 10 months ago, investment in CityPay.io. But now, just yesterday, you announced a new investment, Series A funding to CityPay.io, 10 million USD, which is probably the biggest investment round for the Georgian startup ecosystem so far. You also, a few months back, you also invested in Academy of Digital Industries as well in Georgia. In general, what are your goals that you're trying to achieve with these investments? And also, could you share some details about the investments themselves?
First of all, the Georgian market is full of great companies. I'm really impressed, and also great developers. You have so much talent. So in general, I think that speaks really highly about the quality of the education here, because with so much talent, you have to have great universities. We partner with few universities here on the educational side for that specific reason. And yes, we started, tapping our toes into the water with CityPay last year, and with this year, with this bigger investment, we believe that from Georgia, CityPay can actually expand the entire CIS region to be the most important digital payment provider across all the neighbor countries. For that, of course, you need capital. You need to, because you have to expand, you have to purchase more hardware, but also you have to hire more people. And we find the founders of CityPay really well aligned with us. They are incredibly good at executing. They are humble, they are smart, And they can keep growing, maintain the company lean. That is very, very important in order to keep control over the operations. And on the other side, I mention all the time that education is really important for us, and I was impressed by the results that Academy of Digital Industries was able to achieve in a really short time, graduating more than 20,000 students with 50 different courses, of course repeated multiple times, but that is, I think, one of the best approaches that I have seen when it comes to edutech. In 2020, with the pandemic, I'm Italian, and I saw the struggle of Italy when the pandemic struck, and no school was ready for digital education. No child had access to an iPad. No teacher was able to use Zoom. No, it was a complete mess. For 1 year, from kids to university students, they could not learn anything, could not participate to anything. Maybe in Georgia you were better off. But this, we have to learn from history, and what we learn is that education can be disintermediated and can be improved on a large scale, on a global scale. And so that's what we want to do. Not just blockchain education. There are so many initiatives around the blockchain education. What we do care is to use edutech, so these platforms that we are developing with Academy of Digital Industries, to form the best electricians, the best plumbers, the best online social marketers, the best developers, the best economists. You can do everything already online. We have the tools. Humanity is trying to go to Mars. Maybe we should really focus on simpler things that are reforming education globally.
Should we expect any more investments from Tether in Georgia soon?
We have a few investments in the pipeline. Of course, I cannot disclose them today, but I fell in love with Georgia, so definitely yes.
Thank you very much, Paolo, for your time, and good luck to Tether in Georgia.
Likewise, and thank you very much.
The Checkpoints is presented by pharmaceutical company GM Pharma.